Buying a new pickup truck today means taking on a massive financial anchor rather than just getting away to work. Dealership lots currently sit packed with vehicles carrying price tags of $40, $50, and even $60,000, which forces middle-class families and independent contractors into decades of compounding debt. Automakers actively decided to strip simple utility vehicles from their lineups so they could focus on high-margin luxury trucks, and the economic fallout hit everyday buyers immediately. Rising vehicle costs drain household budgets directly, leaving far less money for groceries, housing, and healthcare. Consumers shoulder this entire burden alone. Hidden deep within the secondary market sits a clear economic countermeasure to all this inflation. Skyrocketing prices in both new and used car sectors created a severe supply shortage for affordable utility, yet aging assets quietly gather dust in the back rows of used car lots across the country. We are talking about 6 completely ignored and heavily depreciated pickup trucks. Because the broader market forgot them entirely, their prices remained completely flat. Securing one of these specific vehicles operates as a defensive financial strategy rather than just a simple purchase. These 6 trucks offer the last real chance to lock in a decade of reliable transportation without destroying your household economic stability. This massive market shift took time to develop. For the better part of the last 20 years, industry analysts and financial watchdogs sounded alarms about the ballooning size and complexity of the American pickup truck. They explicitly warned manufacturers that introducing direct injection, complex turbocharging systems, and multi-gear transmissions would fundamentally destroy the baseline cost of ownership. When a modern 10-speed transmission or a variable displacement engine fails just outside its warranty window, the repair bills routinely exceed $3,000. A sudden expense of that size acts as a catastrophic financial event for a median-income household, and the result is usually crippling credit card debt or missed utility payments. Automakers prioritize complex technology over baseline durability anyway, which deliberately transferred all the long-term financial risk straight to the everyday driver. We start our list with the Chevrolet S10, focusing exactly on the 1994 to 2004 models equipped with the 4.3-liter Vortec V6 engine. This specific vehicle served as the foundational infrastructure for American small businesses for an entire decade. When General Motors discontinued this simple platform, regular people instantly lost their lowest cost entry point into independent contracting. Plumbers, landscapers, and delivery drivers found themselves forced to finance much larger and vastly more expensive replacements. The 4.3-liter engine operates essentially as a small block V8 with 2 cylinders chopped off, and General Motors engineered it using a philosophy of massive, redundant durability. The broader consumer market looks at the S10 as an outdated relic today, which means you can acquire a clean model for roughly $4,000. Buying a truck for cash completely eliminates the monthly payment cycle while securing a powertrain historically proven to exceed 200,000 miles on just basic maintenance. Our second vehicle perfectly illustrates how a failure of market knowledge translates straight into consumer savings. Sold in the United States from 1994 to 2009, the Mazda B series exists as the exact mechanical twin of the Ford Ranger. Factory workers built them on the exact same assembly lines using identical frames, engines, and transmissions. The general public completely misses this specific industry detail, assuming instead that the Mazda is some obscure import suffering from scarce replacement parts. This widespread brand ignorance forces the Mazda B series to trade at a severe discount compared to its Ford counterpart. Taking home a B series gives a family or a young adult entering the workforce the exact reliability of a Ford Ranger, but they keep $2,000 to $3,000 safely in their bank account. Leveraging these market inefficiencies directly protects your personal capital. Moving to the third option brings us to the 4-cylinder Ford Ranger itself, specifically the 1998 to 2011 generation, utilizing the 2.3-liter Duratec engine paired with a manual transmission. Ford severing production of the Ranger in 2011 cut off one of the final lifelines for low-income commuters needing an open bed. The economic pressure from that factory closure spread outward immediately, pushing buyers toward aging SUVs or trapping them into financing larger half-ton trucks they never actually needed. Inside the 2.3-liter Duratec sits port fuel injection and a timing chain, completely bypassing the failure-prone systems plaguing modern engines. Such mechanical simplicity translates strictly into economic predictability. A manual transmission 4-cylinder Ranger routinely delivers fuel economy in the upper 20s on the highway, giving a commuter driving 40 miles a day heavy insulation against volatile gas prices. Driving a vehicle that requires nothing but basic fluid changes provides massive financial relief. The Dodge Dakota lands in the fourth spot to show the exact consequences of an industry abandoning the middle ground. Chrysler stopped making the Dakota in 2011, killing a vehicle that occupied a highly unique spatial and economic footprint. It sat larger than a compact truck but cost significantly less to maintain than a full-size Ram or F-150. Eliminating the Dakota contracted the entire market, forcing consumers needing moderate towing capacity to absorb the higher purchase prices, higher insurance premiums, and heavier fuel costs of full-size trucks. But here is the thing about the 2008 to 2011 Dakota models equipped with the revised 4.7-liter V8 engine. A lingering public distrust of older Chrysler products hits these trucks with rapidly accelerated depreciation. You can grab a late-model Dakota with that updated and reliable 4 and 7-liter engine for less than $10,000. That specific purchase grants an owner the capacity to tow 7,000 pounds without dragging around the crushing financial weight of a modern heavy-duty truck. Looking at the fifth vehicle requires stepping outside the traditional domestic market to examine the Toyota T100. Average buyers find themselves completely priced out of reliable transportation today because the Toyota Tacoma and Tundra command massive price premiums. Market demand for those two specific nameplates drives their used prices to irrational highs, a phenomenon widely known as the Toyota tax. Produced in the mid to late 1990s, the Toyota T100 predates all this brand hysteria. It holds the exact same legendary Japanese engineering, robust frame construction, and unkillable powertrains, but it totally lacks the modern cultural cachet. The economic consequence plays out clearly, allowing a buyer to secure top-tier reliability without paying a $5,000 to $8,000 brand tax. Preserving that capital means a middle-class family can redirect those thousands of dollars straight toward housing costs or emergency savings. We finish the list with the second-generation Nissan Frontier, focusing heavily on the 2005 to 2019 models running the 4.0-liter VQ 40 V6 engine. Nissan executives made a corporate decision to spend 14 years building the exact same truck while every other manufacturer chased relentless and highly expensive innovation. Industry voices criticized Nissan for remaining stagnant. What nobody expected was that this corporate stagnation would preserve a highly reliable, deeply refined, and ultimately affordable truck. Nissan engineers built the VQ40 engine with an aluminum block, port injection, and a timing chain long before the era of planned obsolescence took over. An equivalent Toyota Tacoma from this era will drain a household savings account, yet the Frontier remains aggressively underpriced on the used market. Grabbing a well-maintained Frontier operates as a long-term financial hedge, providing a real mid-sized truck capable of heavy labor for the next 10 to 15 years. You spend the absolute minimum financial input beyond routine maintenance. Today's automotive market functions as an actively hostile environment for the middle class. Manufacturers focus their production lines exclusively on high-income demographics, and that shrinks the supply of affordable, basic transportation every single year. Average families continue to face the unresolved, crushing pressures of inflation, rising interest rates, and soaring repair costs. Automakers have permanently stopped building simple $10,000 work trucks. Every contractor watching their profit margins vanish into a vehicle payment feels this economic strain directly, right alongside every household stretching their budget to keep a complex, modern vehicle running. Those 6 trucks sitting in the dusty back rows of used car lots represent much more than just old machines. They stand as the remnants of a bygone economic era and the final narrow pathway for working people to escape an automotive debt cycle.